Okay, so just looking at the civil cells provided in the Roundabouts DGN Live, these are modular based, so we actually have a couple of rotaries, one placed on alignments, second placed on a shape. We've got several approaches, a basic approach, a couple of deflection left, deflection right, and then also a couple of more approaches, just a one-lane ramp entrance and exit. And then we've got splitter island, splitter median, and then splitter island with curb cut ramp and a median with a curb cut ramp. And then we also have a bypass lane. So we'll demonstrate those in this video. We'll start out with just placing a rotary on an alignment. And we'll say OK. Then I'm prompted for the primary alignment. Quite honestly, in this case here, it could be either one, but I'm going to choose this north-south. And then a positional reference or intersecting road geometry, I'm going to choose that. Alright, and that geometry looks good, so I'll reset and accept that cell. Alright, then just going through a few of the horizontal edits here to change this this radius here. Actually, this one right there. I guess you'd be tempted to kind of grab that, but you really need to grab this line here. And so if you want to change that, we'll just change it to 90 feet, from 80 to 90. You can change that. We'll change this outside width. You would go to the opposite side of this line here and change that -18 to, we'll change it to -30. Then you also have a edge of pavement for a truck apron there. So if you needed to change that there. Which that's pretty much the horizontal edits. Okay, so we're now going to get real in depth with vertical here on this rotary. Initially, this outside edge of pavement is basically it's based off the primary alignment intersection with that curve there, and a point selection of vertices. You may want to change that to all there. Alright, and then a slope is projected 2% for this edge of pavement here. You can see that positive 2%, and then it's actually projected 3% there to the truck apron edge of pavement. So generally, so right now really this outside edge is controlling. Most of the time this inside edge is going to be your alignment, so that really needs to be the I'm not going to go through the process, but you would really need to come in and probably profile this element with the beginning and ending elevation being the same elevation. Really doesn't matter what you set it. It could be based on the primary like this. And then you're going to project that profile of this element to this element. If your alignment here, if your alignment is located along that inside edge, which generally it normally is. Like I said, I'm not going through that process, but plus there would probably be some adjustments to your alignment, your incoming alignments as well. Alright, as far as the template itself, let's turn on construction class. And then if we look at this template, that's the template initially. This your roundabout area, your truck apron here, and then you got a grass median there. And then there's a terrain inside that, so we go in there, so that grass median, and then you got a surface template out here in the median. Alright, and you notice there's actually no end conditions. So on this template, on this side over here, there's no curb and gutter, there's no sidewalk, there's no end conditions. And really we'd leave it, we initially place it like that because once we get through placing approaches here, you'd have to turn most of that off anyway. So we just leave that off in the cell. Okay, so next we're going to place a couple of approach cells. We've actually got 4-lane with a raised median on this north-south alignment. On this east-west alignment, it's just 2 lanes. And we're going to come in and grab just a basic approach here. I'm going to turn off construction class. And then there's about 6 prompts here, so let's go through these. So locate reference element roundabout outside edge of pavement. That's going to be that. Inside edge of pavement. And then the approach alignment. And then it wants a data point at the roundabout outside EP approach alignment intersection. So that's going to be there. Then wants a DP at the roundabout inside and the approach, so there. Then it wants a data point along the alignment. It's a length control. It's just really you're telling it where you want to stop this cell. So you just come in data point like right there. That geometry looks good, so we'll reset and accept that cell. Alright, and then next we're going to come in and go ahead and place an approach with a deflection left. So this cell here. Alright, so roundabout, pretty much same prompts here. So outside edge of pavement, inside edge of pavement, approach alignment, data point at that intersection, data point at that inside edge of pavement intersection, and then data point for a length control. Alright, then we'll reset and accept that cell. Alright, and I'm going to go and place the same approach on this opposite side. So outside, inside, approach, data point there, there. Really, this direction of arrow, that needs to be away. It looks like this cell's adapting pretty good. We didn't reverse that one up there, and it looks like it placed okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset. But as far as direction of arrows, away, the approaches are always away. Let that arrow go away. And I believe it's right to left on the roundabout, but I can't remember. Okay. So we'll go over horizontal edits on these approaches next. Okay, so we'll look at the horizontal edits on this basic approach first. The the length of this is controlled by that element there. And so if I wanted to change that, 175, that'll back that up. And then these elements here, you can see that I've got that, it's just like a 1 foot there. You can actually come in and grab that element there. That, it's an interval there. You can grab that interval. In this particular case, we're tying that to a 2-lane roadway, so we'll just squeeze that down to 0. So 0. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side there. Squeeze that down to 0. And then really for all these approaches, really the inside edge of pavement, which is placed as this, it's on a feature of Geom Civil Cell Control, this element here. So your inside edge of pavement there, or edge of travel, that actually controls this outside edge with that snap there to this lane line right there. Okay. And then also initially, basically we're placing a line from element or to element to tie from, and we're tying that there with a snap to this intersection there. So if you wanted to change that angle, you can always pick this up and move that element like that. You generally are not going to make an edit to that because it's tied to that and then this inside edge of pavement. But obviously those are both up for editing there. In this particular case, we're actually moving from this is a 2-lane roundabout. In this particular case, we're just going to exit the outside lane here. So probably one edit I would want to make would be to select that element and change that offset to -12. Okay, and you can see how that held, that 18 feet held, this 50-foot radius held. What changed was this radius right there. And then if I wanted to actually come in and this is an exit, we want that probably a little flatter. I'm gonna make it just like a 100-foot radius there. Okay, so you can kind of see some of the edits you have to make there. If I wanted to change that, I think initially this is a 2-centered curve here as well. Yeah, so 100 and 500 foot. As far as horizontal for those approaches, that's pretty much it. Everything's driving that outside edge. And I guess the other edit would be, your outside width. If you needed to change that, you would grab that interval there. We'll just go over here and modify this. I'll also come in and change this to 100 maybe. The key here with this horizontal editing is to really watch, and if you see something, a break, in fact it's good to watch that 3D model as well, but if you see something break, undo that last change and just try to understand why is that breaking, why is that not fitting, because there are geometry edits you can make here that's going to somewhat break that cell. That 100-foot radius there is really pushing, if I went to 125, 130, I'm not exactly sure that's going to push beyond this element there. right? So, that might mean you may have to come in and kind of shift exactly where you're tying, similar to that, to give you more room to actually change that radius value there. Right, so now we could, if we want to come in and make that 125, we could do that without that arc going beyond that element there. I'm going to talk about vertical for this basic approach here. So if we'll look at this edge of pavement there, you can see that 2% projection. So we're just projecting 2% from that center line, and doing the same for this opposite side there. And then we're making the curve that would be created using the quick profile transition between that 2% edge of pavement and this outside roundabout edge of pavement there. Okay, as far as these median edge of pavements, they're profiled as well, because that's what you place your islands or median on, those profiled median edge of pavements. And they're actually profiled from a terrain model right there. Kind of had to snap a few times to grab that, but those median edges are profiled from that terrain there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward on the vertical. All right, so next we're going to actually move on to we'll go modify this approach here, which is your deflection left approach. Okay, similar to the basic approach, these median edges on the deflection left control those outside edge of pavements. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through, like I said, a few of the edits here, and we need to match up the horizontal geometry so that the median matches this 16-foot median up here and two 24-foot divided edge of pavement. So let's go through a few of those. So I think the first thing I'm going to change, if you'll come in and grab, there's a parent of an interval there that'll control that right median edge of pavement. And really before I make that first edit, let's just talk about this geometry at first. So just looking at this here, you can see we've just got a 3-foot median back here, or a 3 foot over. It's really a 6-foot median, 3 feet each side of the center line initially, and then we've got a 400-foot radius there. So at deflection left, that's what we're doing. We're deflecting this geometry to the left side so we can actually speed traffic up coming out of the roundabout and slow traffic down coming into it. So really this median edge controls that outside median edge, and it also really controls this other median edge and that outside edge pavement on the left as well. So back to these edits. So the first edit, like I said, there's a parent there, and we're going to move this over, change this from 3 to 8 feet there. Alright, and then might as well go ahead and line up the outside edge of pavement here. So we're going to change that from 12 to 24 feet there. Alright, then we're going to select this interval here, and we're going to change that offset there from -6 to -16, and this should move the entire median over. And it did. And then this last edit to align this left edge of pavement with that one here, I don't think we can make that as one edit. There's a complex element there, and it appears we're going to have to change that 2 different times there. So I'm going to just go ahead and change this one to -24 feet, which will make the 3D model kind of look a little ugly for just a second anyway, and then we'll come in and just grab this element here, and we can go to this complex, grab that, and change that negative 12 foot offset to negative 24 to line that all back up there. Alright, so a few more edits. We'll just change this value here to like 28. And then we'll go do the same on this other side. And then you can kind of look at those radius values there. They're not too bad. So yeah, that's pretty much the horizontal edits you can make. Obviously, you could do something different. You could change this 400 foot radius, but I'm just going to maintain that. You could change that 90 foot radius as well, but I'm going to just maintain that. Okay, so vertical wise, if you look on these outside edge of pavements, you can see that 2% projection. That's coming off that alignment there, negative 2%, and then the arc there is just a quick profile transition between that 2% and then that outside edge of that roundabout. Pretty much the same thing on the other outside edge of pavement. Probably project 2% on that parallel, negative 2% down on that parallel part right there as well. Now the median is a little bit different, and so if we'll kind of look at this, and it is, you're going to want to look at this profile because it really, you can see these median edge of pavements are wandering off of that center line a good deal, and sometimes it's on the left side or sometimes on the right side of the center line. So I just turned the construction class on because there's a element there. So if we'll look at this, we'll open the profile view of this one. So here's your active profile there. Okay, and then here's the projected profile there. So basically what we're doing, you can see it's a 2% slope there. Basically we're just off of that center line, we're projecting positive 2%. Which is this right here, and then we're really just connecting that line or that 2% projection, a line from there to there. So there's our active. This is just a projected slope. So that's kind of what we're doing, really transitioning. Really basically what that would do, that would mean back here you're at 2% up, and then we're transitioning all the way from there to tie to that edge of pavement, and basically the same thing on the other side. So that's the vertical there. Okay, so next we're going to talk about a couple of more cells. I'm going to close that profile view, turn construction class off, and then we're going to come in and go place some island and median cells. Then I'm actually going to place an island cell, so a splitter island. I'm going to choose that. And that's what I'm actually come in and place over here. So just following the prompts. The left median edge of pavement profile, left looking at approach from roundabout, so that would be this one. Right, that would be this one. And then match line, seam line, match line at the roundabout outside edge of pavement. I think I might turn on construction class to be able to get to this element there, that GML there. And that geometry doesn't look good, so I'm going to have to rotate or change that direction of arrows. Both those away, and looks like that's left to right, so it looks good. So we'll reset and accept that cell. Okay, so we can see that island. We'll actually come back in and talk about some of the edits in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and place this that splitter median. This time I'm actually going to place one with a curb cut ramp. So I'm going to come in here and just place a element, or that's really where I want the center line of that curb cut ramp to be. So let's go select that cell and place it. And then looking at the splitter median with curb cut ramp, so I want that one. And then the left median edge of pavement profile, left looking at approach from roundabout, that's going to be that. The right median edge of pavement, that. The seam line, which is going to be that. And then the curb cut ramp center line, placed from left to right. It's going to be that. And that geometry looks good, so I'll reset and accept that cell. Zoom in and kind of take a look at that curb cut round there. Alright, next we're going to, like I said, we're going to talk about edits next. Okay, so far as edits on this these islands or medians, I'm going to turn construction class on, and then I'm going to select that edge of pavement. And then we've got this thing set up just initially at 0 foot off of those median edges and that roundabout edge. So, so if I want to change this offset down here, I'll grab this first fillet. If I want to change that head offset, I'm not sure which way this is going to go, but I'm going to change that head offset to 1. And quite honestly, you can shift these either which way you want to go there. So if now I've kind of got it like that. So like I said, you can shift these either way. So if I wanted to make that whatever, -3, I meant to put -3, but we'll just kind of keep on moving this thing over. So because I think what we're going to do is we're going to shut this lane down and just carry one lane through this intersection here. So like I said, we would just come down and I could make that, we'll try 12, and you can really just walk this thing over. And then I might have to come back and change the other fillet, which that's going to be the back offset. And I don't know whether it's going to be positive or negative, so we'll just have to see. Yeah, it's a positive. So, like I said, you can scoot those either which way you want to go there. If you do need to reprofile these, as long as they're on that edge of pavement, I think you're good. But when you start moving them off, you can kind of see getting up inside of that pavement there. Honestly, I thought it would turn out a little bit better, but you can always reprofile that, right? So you could always just come in and open the profile view and come in and do a geometry and then do a profile from surface. And this is similar to the other islands in the T-intersection cell. So choose the element, reset, and then locate the reference surface. So the reference surface is actually going to be we have to zoom in. It's kind of hard to grab that, but we're looking for that for profile and island terrain model. That one. And change that to 0. Change that profile adjustment to none. Reset. And did that come out right on top of it? Oh, I got the wrong profile open here. So, if I come in and look at this profile, you can see that new profile right there, I believe. So if we just make it active, that island should pop up there. You can see it looks a little bit better now, sitting on top of that island. That's kind of the editing process there. And like I said, we moved this in, but if you wanted to leave it where it was, if you wanted to, make it a tapered, or if you want it parallel, just backed off some, any of that's fine. Any of that movement is fine. And this side here would work really similar. Okay, so kind of some final cleanup items here. So this area here, what I would do here to just kind of finish that model is just apply a linear template. And we'll choose that from the Roundabouts folder. It's an approach with no pavement. And this isn't going to be a lock to start, so it's going to be from there. Confirm that template. And then the start is going to be there. And then the end's going to be there. Select the side. Okay, so that placed that kind of closed out that side there. And then another thing I've done, I've come in and I didn't do it in the video just to save some time. I made some edits over here to this geometry there. Alright, so we're going to come on and go ahead and place a bypass civil cell next. I'm actually going to place it in this area right here. Right in this area. We'll choose place cell. And let's just choose this bypass lane civil cell. Just see this, you can see the references are really this left edge of pavement here, of the approach, right? The right edge of pavement, or there's actually an exit, this would be an entry. But those two edge of pavements, we need the rotary outside edge or element there. And we also need the bypass lane outside edge pavement. So I'm gonna go ahead and say okay here, but I need to draw that last element, that last reference. We've got the first three I mentioned there. The last one, the bypass lane outside edge pavement, I don't have. So let's go to geometry. Let's go to simple arc, and then locate the first element. So I'm gonna come in and grab that, and then come in and grab that, and so when you're grabbing these complexes, it looks like I do get a little bit there, but you can see the command seems to have problems with these complex elements. I could get this placed here, but instead of choosing those complexes, I'm going to actually come in and choose the trimmed parallel elements that are in this civil cell, one there and one there. Now that command works really good. I do have this on a draft DNC. You might put that on just on the edge of pavement feature. I think that might be in the cell itself, though. Can't really remember. Do I think of mine? I'm going to just match that edge of pavement there. Alright, so again, I'm going to choose this, that, and I'm going to just kind of eyeball this. You probably need at least about minimum of about 15 feet between these two areas, probably a little bit more than that, 15 to 20 feet minimum. In other words, you wouldn't want to place this thing here because we got to have enough room for a lane and a little island there. All right, so I'm going to back off. I don't know exactly how far I'm off. If I had to guess, yeah, probably about 20. I'm over 20 feet there, so I'm going to just data point about right here. One more note that so you see how this element fits within the boundaries of these cells here, right? So that's tying to these edge of pavements that are in the civil cells. So if this, if it fell further down the alignment, so if you, depending on your angles and all that, you may be getting back beyond your cell limits here. And so it's possible you would actually just have to create like a partial offset, maybe a couple partial offsets and combine them. I think you could just actually, I don't think this would work out right because, so I think if you're tying, if the PC points are landing beyond the civil cells of these approaches here, you would actually need to do a copy parallel here and maybe even a copy parallel there and combine those two elements, I think. Right. At least I think you would. And same thing over here. If this PC is going to land beyond the civil cell area. All right, so for us, I think this is really all we need. We don't really need to profile this because I think the cell will profile it for us. So let's just go ahead and place the cell. All right, so left approach edge of pavement. This is actually left, as if you were standing here looking this way. This is going to be your left side here. Again, I'm going to just come in and grab, I am going to grab this, right? So left approach edge of pavement. I'm going to grab the right approach edge of pavement, which is going to be that. Then it wants the rotary outside edge of pavement, which is going to be that, EOP outside. Then it wants a bypass lane outside edge of pavement. I want this. All right, and then the geometry should be away. Left or right there, and like this should even be going that direction. I think looks like it didn't matter. But this geometry actually looks good. I see an island right here, so I'm going to go ahead and reset. select corridors to be clipped. Now, I guess I'm going to go ahead and clip that and clip this. And then we'll say reset and accept. Now, it's possible I would use like display rules instead of clipping there to get rid of the 2D graphics. We'll zoom in here and look. You can see this bypass lane, civil cell placed here. And then just going over a few horizontal edits. We're not going to do a lot here. I'll show you a little bit about this cell. Obviously, you know, this outside edge of pavement, you would not want to choose that element, right? But it looks like maybe we do have a cell. An element there. Actually, so we'll do that, yeah. And so I've got an edge of pavement actually in there. So this edge, you know, we actually placed an edge of pavement here. You can obviously, we placed this right so you could change this radius value and everything. But give it up. Maybe you want a nice even amount here. Just make it 135. That would be one edit. And that probably should have put that one on the edge of pavement feature. It should have probably been a B and C or, you know, a working class element. Again, you can see the 2D graphics. By clipping, it looks great in 3D, but the 2D graphics you still have in the 2D. That's why I would probably use a display rule. Or really wouldn't even need a display rule, really. I probably could just grab the template, pull it back to right here. All right, same thing over here. Grab the template of the approach, pull it back to the PC point. Other edits. So if we'll grab this edge here, which I think would be that edge right there, obviously. So if we want to change this to 15, all right, we can come in there and grab that. And coming back over here and grabbing the same element again. You can change the radius, you know, the nose radius there is 3 feet. Another thing you can do over here, not on that, but on that, the element you place. You know, if you needed an offset here, right? So maybe you've got a turn lane coming into this bypass lane, and so you've got the ability to, you know, go to your fillet rule and add a back or a head offset. So you could do that as well. Vertical wise, we're really just projecting 2% out here. Right, we didn't have to profile the reference element, but if we look at this negative 2%, so everything is just projected 2% off here. Then other than that, we've got a couple of surface templates here. We've got one for the pavement, we've got one for the island back here. And then we got a linear template doing this drawing out here, a linear template on this you know, your island area right there is just a curve. And other than that, that's pretty much it on that cell. And really the rotary cells there, that's pretty much it for this video.